I don't know if it's a recent thing or if it's been going on for years, but every morning there's a really loud scream and some banging that goes on in Soyer Bay.
Happy screaming.
Happy screaming. Yeah, we've been told there's a guy who every morning, 9 AM, goes out for a swim to one of the marker buoys and then slaps it and screams and celebrates. And we were walking along the front and we just so happened to spot a guy who we think is that guy. He's wearing a thong.
It left very little to the imagination.
Just that, nothing else. He did a little stretch where he bent over. We saw something we didn't really want to see. And yeah.
I hope it is him. We're not just randomly filming some strange summer. He's going to think we're not weird. I reckon he's going to reach the buoy in a minute. I'm going to try and get this on camera. Here we go. He's nearly there. If he doesn't do it, I'll be really disappointed. Yeah, he's going for it. Go on, mate. Go on. Woohoo!
Jolly good show.
Go on, mate. Good for you. This is Josh and I'm Erin. We recently started documenting our travels around the world, hoping it will inform, inspire and entertain. Subscribe to join the adventure. I hope you all enjoyed your morning wake up. Welcome back to Porto Soyer, a busy bay about halfway down the west coast of Majorca. Josh and I have been spending a lot of our mornings running here, mainly me trying to keep up with him as we slowly climb up the hill to this lighthouse that sits right on the edge of the cliff above the entrance to the port. It's a hard run, but once you're at the top, the reward is pretty incredible. Soyer is a popular place for both expats and liveaboards, so today we're heading out with some fellow sailors for an explore in the hills. Well, at least that's what we thought we were doing. So we are walking, I think it's about 3 kilometres, to kind of go through, out the town and up into the hills a bit. And there's this big farm there, and they've got vineyards and things like that. I think you can go wine tasting. I think that's the only reason we're going. I think the reason we're going is because there's wine. A load of the other boats that Mum and Dad know here have all come with us, so there's a bit of a gang. But yeah, it should be a nice day. It's not too hot today. The sun's really come out now. It's hot, but the walk is beautiful. There's just lemon trees and lime trees everywhere, vineyards, everything just lining the path all the way up here. It's really beautiful. Keep going up. Soyer Old Town is about 3 kilometres inland from the port, and that's where we're heading. It's a part of Majorca that is famous for its citrus trees, olive groves, grapevines and almond trees that cover most of the hills surrounding the town. The Soyer Valley is known as the Valley of the Orange Trees, and even though the virus has stopped most of the tourists from visiting, exports of the fruit grown here have actually gone through the roof. When Spain was in lockdown back in March, over 40 tonnes of oranges were exported to Germany in just 1 week, along with local olive oil, almonds, lemons. We were told by a local farmer that the lemons in Soyer are so sweet that you can just bite into them like an apple, peel and all. So if you're ever in the area, pick yourself a lemon and give it a bite. You'll be pleasantly surprised. What noise does a goose make?
That noise.
What noise?
That's literally what he just made. Listen to him.
go to another bar. Thought we were at the vineyards, but no.
Stop off at another bar.
Stop number 2 for a pint.
Well, no, number 3 even.
Number 3.
This will be
It's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
This has turned into a bit of a booze day, hasn't it?
It's a booze cruise. We have gone out for the day with Erin's parents and her parents' friends to go to a local farm / vineyard called the Cooperativa. However, the people we've gone out with seem to have planned a bar crawl. So we stopped at...
Literally, one of the woman who's actually organised it genuinely had messaged me before that she'd completely forgotten that it was the Cooperativa that they were meant to be going to.
But yeah, so we're quite a few pints deep.
This is getting quite messy.
And yeah,
I was going to go home and edit this afternoon, and it's already about 3 o'clock. What's that? Are we stopping here for lunch? Oh, great! I'm so hungry. Where is it? That turned out to be a very, very boozy lunch. It's now about, I think, 6 o'clock. We set off from the boat at 9:30, and we've not even reached the Cooperativa yet.
Sarah's there. So, yeah, the rest of the group have basically chickened out because they've drunk too much, and us being us, we can never drink too much. So let's go drink some wine.
He says while he pings his face mask across his face. But yeah, we have a wine tasting in us yet. So, because of COVID, you're not actually allowed to taste any of the wines here, but they do have like 4 barrels of their most popular wines, so we're going to stock up.
That's like the modern motorcycle, bicycle. No, the olden day bicycle.
I think it's going to rain. But like pacing back to the bus station to get there in time before the last bus leaves and before the rain starts. Let's go. It is so humid though. It definitely needs to rain. My mum had heard about a place in town that specialised in essential oils and natural beauty products, all made in Soyer using local produce. Luckily, as COVID restrictions had eased over the summer, we were able to go to one of their workshops and learn all about it.
Hello. Hello. Yes, so excited.
This is Joachim and his wife Rose. They started Hobo Majorca back in 2015 when they moved to Soyer from Marrakesh, but they're originally from France. Like a lot of Soyerics, their history is written between France and Soyer. Before the tunnel and train line were built on the island, Soyer was very cut off due to the mountains surrounding it, and so it was actually easier to get a boat from Soyer to France than it was to travel over the mountains to Parma. Therefore, Soyer has a big French influence, and a lot of people here have had a life intertwined with the two places. when they decided to settle in Soyer, their passion was to create a brand of soaps that were natural, good for the skin and the environment, and that most importantly used local produce. Joachim trained, studied and educated himself in saponification, and within a year he'd created a range of 8 soaps, all handmade, locally sourced and using no chemicals or plastics in either the soaps or the packaging. Since then they've branched out to solid shampoo bars, perfumes, essential oils, and he's currently working on a lip balm. We were here to learn the process of distilling essential oils. First we stuffed the dried lavender into the small copper still. Then the still is placed above a copper drum filled with water from their well that is then placed on top of an open fire. We then sealed them together with a mixture of flour and water which forms a kind of glue, and the whole thing starts to heat up pretty quickly. As the water boils, the steam passes through the copper still filled with the lavender, extracting the oils from the buds. Then the oily water passes through this copper pipe and into the bottle. We then separate the oil and the water and voila! Natural, homemade, essential oil. With everything sourced from about 3 metres away from where we were standing. Now that is local produce. The whole process took less than 30 minutes and it was surprisingly simple. If you know what you're doing, that is. Joachim's knowledge of the whole process and the products he uses is second to none. I could have stayed there asking him questions for hours. I'm going to link their website in the description below so you guys can go check them out, and I'd highly recommend paying them a visit if you're ever in Majorca. Their concept is brilliant, plus they're just super lovely people. I wish you could smell this place and smell me now, because I'm just covered in essential oils and the soaps and the perfumes, and it just smells incredible. You're surrounded by citrus trees and lavender bushes and just herbs growing everywhere. It was just so fascinating. I was amazed how simple and straightforward it actually is. Obviously he has all the knowledge of how much and how long and everything, but it's just fascinating. And I smell really good. Join us next week as we make the sudden decision to leave Spain, and what turns out to be our last ever sail aboard Linnea doesn't exactly go to plan. Stay tuned guys, we'll see you next week. Bye!